Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
Retired police inspector found dead at home. The St. James Police are now investigating the death of retired Inspector of Police Raphael Medley, who was found dead at his home in Montego Bay Hills in the parish on Friday. Reports are that the police officer, who retired from the force in 2020, was found with a single bullet wound to the head at his home in Mahogany Close. His body was discovered by his wife about 10 a.m. His wife reportedly went looking for him after noticing he had not left his room. It is being speculated that the retired lawman took his own life, but that has not been confirmed. Teacher trainer urges government to seriously consider implications of hiring foreigners. Head of the School of Technical and Vocational Education at the University of Technology, Dr. Junior Martin, says the government needs to seriously consider the implications if they decide to employ teachers from foreign nations. Dr. Martin was addressing the issue of teacher shortage in the country. Recently, the Jamaica Teachers Association JTA disclosed that over 400 teachers have resigned to take up offers in the United States. Dr. Martin is cautioning the government to ensure the teachers are competent to effectively aid the learning process.
We need to understand the implications of this. And one of the implications is that what is happening around us, teaching is no longer an attractive profession among our young people in Jamaica. And I think that will make it worse. And so therefore, we have to understand that what we need to consider seriously is to look at teacher training and to address the problems that we are facing in teacher training. Part of the problem is that we are not attracting young people to become teacher trainers. And I think we really need to address that. I will agree that compensation is a problem. We understand the nature of the economy that we have in Jamaica. One of the advice that I would give the Ministry of Education in relation to compensation is to looking at the broader picture. What are the low-hanging fruits that we have as it relates to compensation of teachers currently? One is providing incentives for teachers. And I think that is something that we need to explore. We have not explored that seriously in Jamaica. We have teachers who have done exceptionally well, who continue to do well in the profession. They are not incentivized. We have a master teachers program, which is not attractive to many teachers. The local teachers would definitely not be happy. Would definitely not be happy with that kind of reality where we're taking foreigners into the country under the same conditions and they will be receiving higher salaries and better working conditions. I don't think that can be easily balanced at all. And I would say to the Ministry of Education, that is not the kind of intervention that we need to focus on. We also need to look at the retired teachers that we have and see how best we can deploy some of these teachers in the system to stem the difficulties that we're having currently in teacher shortage. One of the options that we have available is to use the graduates of the teacher training institutions. Now, I think that can work. However, we will now have to be strategic in terms of the deployment of these teachers. Because here we have a situation where we are replacing experienced teachers with teachers who are simply leaving teacher training institutions. So, for example, a formal mentorship program is necessary to mentor these graduates to ensure that they can really perform at the level that is expected. We have to use what we have. That is one of the greatest interventions that we have currently. And so we now have to make sure that we identify the data. How many of these teachers are available? Because we can't say we're going to use the teachers and they're not available. Some of these very teachers are migrating. Some are going into other sectors. Do we have the numbers? And so I'm thinking that data is very, very critical to the process. So we need to quickly gather the data. How many teachers have graduated from the teacher training institutions? Where are these teachers currently? Are they available? How will we now deploy the teachers based on the need?
Bowler bites the dust. The number of defendants in the infamous Klangsman gang trial has been further whittled down to 27 after Andre Simit, the sole accused in the matter, who was out on bail, was shot dead Wednesday night. Simit had been on bail from day one of the trial, which began in September last year, with 33 alleged members of the notorious St. Catherine-based gang. That number was, however, reduced to 28 after 5 of the accused were freed. Simit was expected back in court when the matter resumed on September 19 following the adjournment in July. Simit, otherwise known as Bolo, was answering to charges related to a 2017 double murder and membership of a criminal organization. On Thursday, Superintendent Kirk Ricketts, commanding officer for the St. Andrew Police Division, told reporters that Simit was shot about 9:10 p.m. on Wednesday at the intersection of Hagley Park Road and Keaton Avenue in the corporate area. He said the accused gangster was driving a Nissan AD wagon motor car along Hagley Park Road when men traveling on a motorcycle drove up and shot him before driving away. He said Simit succumbed to his wounds at hospital. The police say they are trying to determine whether the attack, which took Simit's life, came from his St. Catherine community. It's early days yet. We are trying to do the victimology. There is information as to who he is. He is originally from Spanish Town area, so we are coordinating with investigators from the Spanish Town side to see if the attack is originating from St. Catherine North. We are exploring all avenues, Superintendent Ricketts reported. Simit's attorney, Alexander Shaw, who also represents another two accused in the matter, described the murder as sad. Shaw said it was his understanding that Simit was heading home from work when he was shot. It's sad because the young man was pretty much trying to change his life. He got a new job, started working while the case was going on, and pretty much was trying to stay on the straight and narrow road. He was the only one on bail. The case against him was so weak, he was bound to be acquitted, the attorney said. The Crown, in opening its case in September last year, had said that accused individuals who comprised the Blackman faction of the gang under the supposed leadership of Andre Blackman Bryan had various roles in which they acted as killers, drivers, lookoutmen or watchmen, gunsmiths and foot soldiers. According to the Crown, between 2015 and 2019, the accused carried out a range of murders, conspiracy to murder, extortion and arson throughout St. Catherine. The accused are being tried under the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Amendment Act, commonly called the Anti-Gang Legislation, with several facing additional charges under the Firearms Act for a crime allegedly committed between 2015 and 2019. Greenville remains under high surveillance, police chief. Manchester's newly minted police chief Superintendent Shane McCullough says the community of Greenville remains tense following last week's double murder and injuring of two people by gunmen at a party. As a result, he said, restrictions have been placed on entertainment events following the August 5th killing of 34-year-old Adrian Nation, affectionately called Blue, a chef of 14th Street in Greenville, and a man identified as Lloyd Levy at the party. A man and woman were also shot and injured during the attack. There is resentment towards the measures being used and in place now, but it is not just restrictions on parties, it is a total operational drive in this space, McCullough told reporters on Thursday. Greenville has in recent years been rocked by murders stemming from gang violence and conflicts. Police theorize that the latest incident, Nation, was the target of the gun attack. When asked about a review of the restrictions on entertainment events in the community, McCullough said the police are trying to avert mayhem. Until those wanton actions of criminality stop, the place cannot go back to normal. It has to be consistent policing with different types of strategies and measures to ensure that we don't have a repeat of the incident that we had last week, he explained. He said the at-risk community requires collaboration between police and critical groups to improve. Social intervention is something that has to be continuous, a consistent collaboration between the community, police and other stakeholders, but the police alone cannot do the intervention. We are going to need the support of other people, said McCullough. One of my first initiatives is meeting with various stakeholders not only from Greenville, but other species that we might deem at risk to post that social intervention and get people on board supporting us and working in partnership, he added. Other at-risk communities, including Comfort, Broadleaf, Hearties, Newhall, and Mayday, has also been on the police radar, having similar phase restrictions on entertainment events earlier this year. There are still areas that we still have been heightened security concern about, and they're being constantly monitored and are part of our operational initiatives, said McCullough. He is urging residents to work with the police, even as he lauded officers for going above and beyond under resource constraints. We are here to work together. Partnership and communicate is the only way we can fight crime and solve some of the issues, he stated. Commendations to the entire Manchester Police Division and the Criminal Investigations Branch, because the clear operate is extremely good. I commend the men and women for the energy that they are pushing out here, he added. Paula, who has major crime fighting experience, having served as the head of operations in the vital St. Andrew South Police Division, replaced Superintendent Lloyd Darby as head of the Manchester Police last month. 3 more COVID-19 deaths, 158 new cases. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 158 new COVID-19 cases on Thursday, August 11, bringing the infection total to 147,725. 3 deaths are reported, bringing the total to 3,219. The new cases comprise 94 females and 64 males, with ages ranging from 5 months to 108 years. The cases are recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 42, St. James 15, St. Mary Hanover and St. Thomas 1, Manchester and Westmoreland 12, St. Catherine 25, Clarendon 11, St. Anne 24, Trelawney and St. Elizabeth 11. Portland was the only parish to report 0 cases. The deceased are a 51-year-old female from St. Catherine who died in September 2021, a 64-year-old male from St. James who died in October 2021, and a 48-year-old male from St. Catherine who died in November 2021. There were 92 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 94,909. Currently, 125 people are hospitalized, 18 of whom are moderately ill, 4 severely ill, and 3 critically ill. Jamaica's positivity rate for the latest round of testing is 23.6%.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell